Last time on Star Wars, the Jedi apprentice Sar made his way through the palace of Onderon. There he had to defend himself and his Jedi master, Silas. The two managed to barely escape with their lives and come back. Well, I did.
I took like 5 points of damage.
They were brought back to Coruscant. There, Sar was told he was ready for the Jedi trials. Hard trials on the planet known as Hoth, an ice planet. There he would have to survive for 1 month in bitter cold, with no help, all by himself. If he were to survive this, help as many people as he can, and return back with his life, he will be awarded knighthood. Knighthood? When you're a Jedi Knight? At first it was rather what you'd expect. Nothing but white and ice. It's all you can see on the planet of Hoth. The bitter cold constantly breathing down your neck, no matter how thick of a cowl you throw over. After burying himself in the snow and making a fort for himself to stay the night, he got attacked by 2 monstrous crag cats, giant white tigers, basically, saber-toothed tigers. After killing one of the alpha, and the younger hunter cat ran off into the blizzard, Sar actually skinned him and made a pelt, and with this new saber pelt, he finds himself able to adjust to the bitter colds much easier with a natural pelt of this world. Continuing on, he could see a mountain, a huge mountain in the distance. At the base of this mountain, there was a village. After traveling to the village, he met with a man who gave him a quest to find his husband, Garrett, who had taken a group of adventurers
Where was she going?
She's probably gonna eat gourds. That's what she does.
We're down 1 HDMI.
Yeah, and she chewed my headphones. Like, no, I'm not even messing with that. Okay, where were we?
On his quest to find his
There at the village, Sar met up with a man. I forget his name currently. His name is Keegan. Keegan has a husband who is a traveler. He is a ice mountain master, basically. Keegan's husband, Garrett, has been gone for a few days, when he should have been back by now. After running into Garrett's dog, Boy, who is a giant white wolfhound kind of type thing. He's a rather large animal. He journeyed with Boy up to the mountain to try to find these adventurers and Garrett. At the base of the mountain, you could see Sar found the company's old base camp, but it looked like no one had been there for a long time, and the weather had gotten to it, destroying one of the tents and almost killed the pack of dogs that were still chained up there. After freeing the dogs, Sar continued up the mountain where he saw a large group of mountain goats staring him down from the top of the ridge. After that, continuing up very high cliff faces, he heard Boy run off, and they actually found Garrett. Garrett had fallen from after being chased by a giant wampa, which a wampa is basically a giant yeti.
I know.
They have horns, and they're terrifying. And they eat men. They eat literally any kind of meat, honestly. But Garrett told you that the company had actually found a cave, and in this cave they were ambushed. There were 3 adventurers that came up with Garrett. Asterix is a red-horned woman. Makinga is a giant man, and Perilu, who is a smaller woman as well.
Nonsense.
She's basically a halfling.
Oh, so she's like as big as me.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're full grown by this point. You're 18 years old.
No, I'm talking about me.
Oh, in real life. So Garrett said that after they got ambushed by this alpha, he ran off, and he had no other choice but to escape. And so he ran down the mountain where the alpha wampa was chasing him. And the only choice that he had was to jump, and so he jumped and twisted his knee, and you actually found him at the base of this cliff, where he's healing still. He's fine. He's hurt, but he's not dead or anything. And he wanted you to go up further to the mountain and make sure everything was okay. This happened a few hours ago, and they were actually on their way, back after exploring this. They got ambushed by these wampas. Continuing on further, ran past an avalanche, which was insane. Barely. It was intained. Eventually coming up to the frozen cave. In this frozen cave, you sadly found the remains of Mokinga, who had been recently killed and was obviously torn apart. Further down in the cave, you actually you hear whimpering of a woman. And this is where we begin. Your breath creates puffs of clouds as you stand there in a very small hall. The Mokinga bone room is just behind you, and in front of you, the hallway goes straight and then curves to the left. You hear sounds of whimpering, like, and then you hear, and you hear these sickening sounds. There is a natural ambience and light in here. It's very quiet and echoey, but every once in a while you hear a droplet in it, and it makes this echo sound. It smells very, it's like a cold smell, when it's just fresh air, and like your nose is like that. That's what it's like, and you can feel that there's ice on the end of your nose. That's how cold it is in here. The ends of your fingertips are becoming numb. But the natural, yeah, and then you breathe and your breath is coming out. There's a natural light coming from just within the cave, and there's a shadow being cast before you. What do you do? Okay, so you...
Breaths, a step,
You know that there are 3 beings. One is very big, and 2 are small, within 30 feet of you. What do you do?
Okay, we'll sneak up to the corner and I'll peer my head to see us.
When you walk up, you see a very strange scene. First off, the first movement that kind of catches your eyes is a small little wampling. It is obviously a young wampa who is maybe 4 or 5 feet tall, which is actually kind of big, but in comparison to the other thing I'm about to describe, it is very small. This small wampa is toying with is the only thing that can be described. This wampa is smaller. His hands have blood on them, like fresh blood, and there's blood on his mouth.
Something wrong with the washing machine.
Okay. So, where was I?
So you were explaining the little wampa how it had fresh blood all over it.
So when you walk around the corner, you see this wampa it has white fur and it has little tiny horns just barely poking out of its fur. It's a very fuzzy looking thing. If it wasn't so monstrous, you might even think it would be a little bit adorable. It's fresh blood, and it had obviously just been eating something. The thing that it's playing with is a little girl, is what you think of at first. She has orangish red hair, tied up in a ponytail. She has rather regular adventurer's clothes on, though they're frostbitten, and one of her shoes are about 10-15 feet away from her. She is purple, black, and blue, and is currently like the Wampling is like rolling her up in a ball and just like rolling her down the cave into the wall and like laughing hysterically at itself. And she's just getting beat up. Basically, like the Wampling is essentially just playing with its food at this point. Then you hear the origin sound of the sound. As you look over, you see a massive ball of fur. In this ball of fur, blood is dripping out of huge arms. As you realize what's in this thing's arms is a massive leg. This leg is probably 5 to 6 feet tall. This leg is as big as you. And this wampa is this massive wampa, and it takes the leg and just with 2 hands just breaks it backwards, like right at the knee, and it snaps, and all this like juice sprays out, and it like catches it, like it's like spritzing a lemon in its mouth, and then it brings the shin bone up to its mouth and sucks the marrow out of it on the top part of the bone, and after it sucks the marrow out, it like tosses the leg at the side. The bottom part of the leg still has the boot attached to it as it falls to the ground, making an echo sound throughout the chamber. On the top half of the leg still is a thigh with a bone sticking out as a handle that she's hanging onto like a turkey leg. And with ravenous hunger, you see these like almost like a gorilla mouth, just fangs bite into the thigh and just rip as like blood just keeps rolling down this thing's chin. What do you do?
Is it like downwards?
It's basically like it's just this open, this cavern opens up in front of you into like this final room.
My life for two? Whatever, come on. I say to myself, quietly. And what I do is I pull the pistol out, and I just want to unload on the big one.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. Roll for initiative.
Ooh. 7.
This music is not working. Get it good.
Kelly? I got a 7.
We're going for it. Your initiative is 7, or you rolled a 7.
7.
Okay, that's a difference.
It's not much better. It's a 12. My initiative is 12.
Okay, this thing goes before you. So I rolled an 11 for the Wampa and a 14 for the Wampling. What'd you get?
A 12.
Okay, so you're actually you're in between the Wampa and the Wampling.
Have they even noticed me yet?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll a perception check. You said you were kind of hidden, so go ahead and roll stealth against me real quick. See if I see you.
15.
I got a 15 as well, so that actually beats it. So this thing immediately goes to turn, and it like snarls over at you, and it starts growling at you, and it starts pointing at you, and like a monkey or like a giant ape, it turns towards and runs towards its mom on all fours, and just jumps up behind, and it like starts beating on the ice. Suddenly, the giant mama Wompling stands up and notices you, and just like looks at this hunk of meat in her hand, and throws it behind her shoulder. What do you do?
Okay. First thing I'm gonna do, write that hologram on the ground, make it look I'm not even there, try to confuse it.
Okay.
Like I want to jump behind the corner and just throw it.
Okay, go ahead and just roll your
Dex?
this will be intelligence and your proficiency. So like you're casting a spell, basically.
Oh, perfect. So proficiency.
Because I want to see if she can see through it. Actually, it's a wisdom save. My bad. Sorry. What's your DC?
My DC.
Yes. What's your DC? What's your spell DC? It's on the back.
See.
Oof. What's your spell DC?
14.
14. I got.
Tech save. DC 14.
14. So I got a 9. So I fail. And so what do you want your hologram to look like? Okay. It'd be the cave. Is that your turn?
Alright, so I want to see if there's like another way around.
Okay, you turn back around and you're standing in like this hallway, and behind you, where you came from, is a room that is full of bones.
I want to go back and grab that great axe just like this.
Okay, you run over and try to pick it up. Roll a strength check. See if you can even pick this thing up. It's kind of like stuck into the ice and frozen. If you want to sit there and take another turn, you can probably get it up, but you can't right now.
Can I use my lightsaber to melt the ice?
No, that's unfortunately your turn. Alright, now it's the Wampa's turn. She's going to run up and just charge right through it, and it looks like there's just a normal cave right there, so she looks like she's just gonna run. She just runs through your hologram and goes through it, and she's like... I'm gonna go ahead and make a wisdom save so she understands what the frick's going on. That's a 17. So she's gonna kind of figure it out, and she just like starts smelling, and she goes... And she points back to her little Wampa, and just... and grunts like that, and she waddles into the bone room. Hi. And then that's where she sees you trying to pull up. You're like trying to pull up the giant great axe, and she's gonna run up, and she has 2 attacks, one with her claw and one with her bite. So she's just gonna go ahead and just rake at you with her claw. That is going to be a. That is a 19 to hit.
Yes.
All right, you're gonna go ahead and take.
Any reaction?
You're gonna go ahead and take 12 damage from her claw. So yeah, you take 12 damage, and then she's gonna try to bite you. Ooh, that is a 25, my friend. And so then she runs up and bites you. You need to make a strength check for me real quick, because you are going to be grappled.
Oh my god, 9!
Alright, you fail, so you are grappled. So she bites you, you take 7 damage,
Ow.
and now you are grappled. And now it is the top of the round. It is the Wampa's turn,
Youngling.
the Wampling's turn, and the Wampling's gonna run up and just start boom, 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 and try attacking Periwimple. Or, what's her name? Perilou. For a 14, that is a direct hit. So she's gonna go ahead and take 8 damage, and then here's a second claw attack for a 10, which is a miss. So Perilou actually dodges out of the way of that one. It is back to your turn.
Alright. I pull out 2 grenades. And I just stick them on.
You can only do 1 grenade at a turn.
I can use both my hands.
Roll against me. See if you can. 9.
Fuck! It's mostly a 10.
Where?
Right here.
That's a 10. You beat me. Barely.
Both my hands.
Okay. You're still grappled, so you can't go anywhere.
Oh.
Okay, is that your turn, or you want to try to escape? You can try. Go for it.
Going.
DC 14.
Fargo.
Alright, you fail, so you're still grappled. It is now the Wampa's turn. I'm gonna make a wisdom check to see if it knows what a grenade is. I don't think it will. That's an 11. What's your DC? 14? I'm gonna say no. So right there, the grenade just explodes. What's your damage for your grenades? Roll damage. And there's 2 of them, you said.
It is a... Oh god. What? I don't have it written down. What's damage for a grenade?
Go ahead and roll 4d6.
Yeah. We only have... Give me your metal one. It's gonna hurt. Alright.
Plus your dex.
Lost my dex. I just murdered myself. Alright, let's see. 5 plus 7 plus... Alright, 5 plus 7 is 12 plus 5 is 17.
Okay, so 7.
I live.
That's 1 grenade.
Oh god.
The Wampa's still alive, too. You said 17?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so 4 plus 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 6, 15 damage. I don't know.
So you've taken... What are you sitting at right now?
So I've taken 12.
Plus 7.
12,
So that's 19. Plus 7. Plus 17?
plus 15.
Okay, so 19 plus 17 is what? 36. Plus 18 is...
15.
Oh, plus 15? So 36 plus 15 would be 41... 51. Are you still alive? Alright, you've taken 51 HP. Erase all that stuff. What are you at?
So at 51, I'm
51? Trevor, come look how much HP this thing has. Direct damage. The Wampa literally explodes. Your hand freaking damn near explodes off. You barely managed.
just kept me alive.
You barely managed to protect yourself.
This thing just drops me because it exploded.
No, you just blew that Wampa to pieces.
I
And
just-
you're still barely alive.
I have 49 HP. Out of 90. Did I just drop?
I don't want sad music.
Dude,
No, no, it's good. Okay, what do?
you look like another...
It's not really battle anymore. We're out of initiative.
Okay, that little one, I just pulled the pistol.
Okay, well, pause. You're in a completely different room.
Oh, yeah. I want to go back to that room. I pulled the pistol on the little one, and I just want to...
Okay, so you're gonna run up and try to shoot the thing? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the same initiative if you're gonna go back into combat. Okay, so that means it gets to go first. So you walk around the corner and you pull out your pistol. Words, you are so hard to work around.
Youngling, I'm assuming, has like half an HP.
Hasn't even got hit yet.
I know, but from the big one, I'm assuming it's gonna have like half.
You walk around the corner and you see this Wampa and Perry Lou.
Well, Wompling.
Wampling. I keep wanting to say I made the word Wampling up. It's not a real thing. I made that up. So, okay. So you walk around and you see them fighting at each other. This Wampling is still going to keep trying to attack. So here it goes. Yep, that's a 13, so that's a miss. Second attack is even worse. So miss. Perry Lou dodges out of the way. It's your turn. What do you do?
I yell, Perry Lou!
She goes, huh?
I say, just try to keep dodging. And I want to charge, actually.
Okay.
Dude, both of my, you see, my lightsabers just throw up, I catch them, they're both ignited, and I just charge.
Bring it on. What do you do?
I just run and I'm off.
Alright, roll attack.
Alright, so let's plus 5.
rolling horrendously.
I just got an 8.
That is a miss. Second attack.
Come on. 4 plus 9.
Okay, both miss. So you actually both swing, and you it's pretty crazy, but this little wompling like grabs these 2 rocks that are right here, and it like lays down itself. This thing's way faster than you realize, and it pulls and it slides underneath your feet. And as it does that, it reaches up with both of its legs, and it's trying to grab onto you. See if it can. It's Wampa's turn. That is a 12. That misses, correct?
Yes.
Alright, second attack. That's a 25.
No, duh.
Sorry, no, this one gets +3. That's a 22.
Yeah.
That still hits. So, one foot, they both try to grab you as it's sliding underneath you, but one kind of flips off so it doesn't get it quite as good as grab on you. And it tries to freaking slam you, and all it really does is kind of pull you into the ground. So it doesn't slam you, but what freaking hurts is its little claws dig into you and rip. So you're going to go ahead and take 7 more damage.
So,
It is
7.
Perilu's. You see Perilu?
I'm at 4.
Yep. You see Perilu kind of stand up, and like her legs are shaking, and she's, oh, help me! Help, please! And it's your turn.
I toss the pit to her,
Okay.
and then dude, this thing's got its foot in me. One of my lightsabers, I just want to cut it off.
Alright, roll attack.
Like, I am not happy. 10.
I'm gonna say for the Wompling that hits.
And I just want to cut its foot.
Well, roll attack, roll damage.
Roll damage, which is a
D6.
1d6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 5.
What? No.
It's a 1d6, and then plus 4 it says here, and then my attack is plus 6.
No, that's to hit.
Well, I get a plus 4.
How long have you been playing D&D?
Okay, so I'm...
What's your dex right now? +5?
Yes.
So you get +5 to this, not +4. You need to change this.
It's plus 6 right here.
That's because of your proficiency. So on your damage, where it says 1d6 plus 4, it needs to say 1d6 plus 5. And roll your d6.
Do I get an extra plus 5 damage?
You get 5 damage because your dex.
And then my attack is...
That's to hit.
Oh.
That doesn't add to your damage.
So, minimal.
You rolled a 1 plus your dex, so you got 6 damage. Okay, second attack.
Alright, going for the same foot.
Yep.
Not 1.
Natural 1.
Yes.
Okay, as you go to swing, it actually grabs on it, has a better grip on you, and it actually like rips you down to the ground, and it like you guys are like struggling, and as you go to swing with your second blade, it actually catches your hand, and it's trying to like twist your hand. So you guys are like grappled right now, and this thing's like twisting your hand, and your bones actually break. If you don't let go of your blade to like slip your hand out, you're going to break your arm. What do?
I let go of my blade.
You let it go. You drop. All right, you drop your blade. It's the Wampa's turn now. It's going to. She's messed up. She's jacked up. It was some. No, it's what. Yes. It's. She'll act next turn. It's now the top of the round. Okay. It's now the Wampa's turn. So the Wampa is going to. It does this like acrobatic thing to where it has your hand and you drop your wrist and you slip your wrist out, and then it like does this twist and grabs your other arm with the lightsaber in it too, and it shoves you forward. It's like a wrestler. It like shoves you forward to the ground and climbs up on your back. It still has you grappled, and it like and it mounts you from behind, and it slips its left hand under your chin, and it's like tightening its grip as it like it's trying to choke you out. I'm gonna go ahead and as it's sitting there, because you guys are still grappled, so
Can I have a reaction?
you have a reaction. What can you do anything?
I would try to pull my vibra back.
No, that's not a reaction. Okay, so with its other land claw, it just starts ripping at you. First attack, that is a 10, miss. Second attack is a 16.
Barely.
Direct damage.
Well, it's 1 over.
All right, so that one hits you, and you're gonna go ahead and take 7 more damage. And now it is your turn.
Let's see. So I had 43 HP.
You took 7. You're at 37. 36.
36.
Yep, you're at 36.
That's
43 minus 7, 36. Alright, it's your turn. This Wampa is on your back, wampling. And it's like ripping at your stomach. And you actually feel warmth cover the bottom of your belly.
I want to reach for my lightsaber.
Okay, you try to grab it. Go ahead and roll against me. You have disadvantage.
I do.
Oof.
Roll 2 times, take the water. Now, 1.
That one. You can't grab it. And as a matter of fact, as you like try to keep reaching out, it grabs onto you and it like wraps its hand around you. Where you're.
One was caught.
That's the hand. That's the hand that it has.
So
and now,
gone.
yeah, it's stopping you from grabbing your lightsaber.
Alright. So with my other hand, I'm gonna grab my vibro dagger and I just want.
Alright, roll attack.
Oh,
Disadvantage.
better rolls.
Roll again.
Not 1.
Now one. Okay. So you go to grab your dagger, and it's just like so intense that it actually drops to the floor when you pull it out.
Very little. I'm counting on you.
And
Your own chance.
you have a chance to try to break out here. So roll against me in athletics. You have disadvantage at 20. You ain't getting out. And actually,
I'm so good.
it's rolling at 20. It actually tightened its grip so much that next turn you're gonna get to make a Constitution saving throw, or you're gonna pass out. Like you cannot breathe right now. All right, Perry Lou. Finally, she's like, "Oh, you," and she pulls out and she's like, "I work this thing," and she's trying to figure. She's never shot a pistol before. She rolled a 7, and she clicks it, and it shoots into the roof. And she's trying to like point, and she's trying to point. It's the Wampa's turn. This thing is going to reach out and try to bite your ear off. He has advantage. That is a 21.
No, you bite my quick arrow.
Okay, you're gonna go ahead and take 4 damage, and you are like hella grappled right now. He also gets a claw attack. Dude, this Wampa is messing you up. Natural 2.
No, you miss.
Yeah, he's still trying to he's trying to claw you, but he is more focused on holding onto your arm. And that is your turn.
And right here, I'm just gonna parry you.
This is non-calm. Things choking up.
I'm gonna. You just need to get out of here. And I want to try to.
Try to break free?
Yes.
Alright, roll. You have disadvantage. That is a 20. Unnatural.
6.
Can't break out.
Can I reach for my vibro dagger since it's like.
It's on the ground.
It's right. I'm on the ground.
Yep, you have disadvantage.
I'm going for it.
Actually, yeah, you're on the ground. You can grab your vibro dagger. I'll allow that.
And I just want to stab it. Dude, I'm going for the stomach.
Okay, attack. You have disadvantage.
Um, 9.
All you need is a 10, dude. You miss. So you're trying to grab it, and it actually just keeps batting your hand away, and it's just squeezing tighter and tighter. And now I need a Constitution saving throw as your vision starts getting darker.
18.
Right. You're hanging on. And that's when you hear a and the grip around you loosens just a little bit. And now it's the Wampa's turn. Its grip returns, and it's trying to choke you out. This time, I'm going to make it contested. If I beat you, it chokes you out.
Alright, well,
5.
fuck.
You feel as the muscles on this thing get tighter and tighter, and the darkness in your vision is in your peripheral vision, and it's going closer and closer. And then just darkness.
God.
Sorry, you lay there in darkness. Your feet and your hands tingle. Your mouth is dry. It's as if you've been walking for ages and you haven't had anything to drink. You suffer from thirst. Your eyes sting, and you hear a ringing in your ears. You open your eyes, and you find yourself on a spaceship. There's a woman standing in front of you.
Do I recognize her?
It's your old master.
Lex.
She walks up to you. Hey, buddy. Squeezes your arm. You ready for the mission? This is a tough one. You know, we're going down to Geonosis. We're the first ones on the site. You're gonna have to fire some clones to get on the planet. Are you ready?
Nervous?
It's at this point that you realize that she's very glitchy. Strangely. She goes to turn, and it's like her shoulders glitch, and then she appears 10 feet away from you. And then she takes a couple steps, and she like appears again, glitches again, and appears another 10 feet away from you. Suddenly your ears start ringing. And then you like blink and you open your eyes and you're in a spaceship fighter. And you're flying, and there's 3 on your tail. And so what do? You're flying the spaceship. You're in space. There's explosions all over here to the left. There's this massive orange planet over here to your left. What do? You veer off right, and you see these 3 coming at you, and there's these green lasers coming at you. They're trying to shoot you. And you turn around, and what do?
So I'm turned around facing them?
Yep.
I just unload fire.
And then you hear, cover my flank! I'm going left! But you look over to your right, and you notice that there is a massive Star Destroyer that just zooms in from hyperspace. And you notice that about 15 wouldn't be a Star Destroyer, I guess. It would be you just see this massive ship, okay? I ruined it with a Star Destroyer. 20 years later, too late, okay. And you see these very pointy looking droid ships fly out. There's about 15, like flying ants coming out of a nest. You see them all fly, and they actually are heading off where your master just said that you were going. In your mind, you know that if you were to go left and follow your master, that you're going to get cut off. But a sudden thought occurs to you that if you try to outmaneuver them, that you can get the surprise jump on them.
I want to outmaneuver.
As you yank on your pilot, your hands glitch, and suddenly you find yourself on the base of the planet. You're on your knees and your hands. Again, your eyes and your ears ring and sting. You have pain all over your whole body. As you blink and realize that you're in a desert. What's going on? You look up, and there is a crashed Jedi cruiser in front of you.
I want to crawl up to it.
The left wing is completely broken off. The pilot shield, the window part is up and halfway broken off. It's scored all along. It's very black, and smoke is coming out of it, and there's flames coming off of this.
Try to stand up.
As you stand up, you run over, and you just see the dead face of your master.
I want to pull out of the ship.
As you go to reach down, You glitch again, glitch, and suddenly you feel this weird feeling as you rip your master out of the ship. You get this cold sensation down your entire body when you realize that half of her skull is gone and her whole shoulder is gone too. And so when you pull her out of the space pilot, her seatbelt just takes the rest of her arm off, and you start back in fear as you realize what just happened, and you take your hands back to your head and you realize what you've done, and you just look at the face of your master, and her unblinking eyes just stare at you, and you swear you see her mouth move. But as you focus in on it, it fades to black. One of the most horrific memories you have. One of the most haunting mistakes that you've made in your life. Had you listened to your master and went with her, you would have been able to handle the force of droid destroyers, but instead you took the path that you thought would be better. But it resulted in your master being overwhelmed, you not there to back her up, and so she was shot down. In the darkness, you feel very strange. It feels like you're hanging upside down, maybe sideways. Very difficult to tell in this blackness, this sea of black. One thing you do feel is it feels like something is holding on to your legs right above your ankles very firmly. And it's by that is what you feel attached to the earth by. So it's like your feet are the only thing that are attached to ground. Everything else you're just in space. Suddenly, very, very far away, you see a bright light. A star gets bigger and bigger until it becomes a white tunnel before you. You hear the echoing sound of footsteps get closer and closer.
You think that's slow?
Go watch TV with us.
It's hard.
You hear the echoing sound of footsteps come closer and closer. But what you realize is it is the shape of your old master. Shh. Let's be quiet, please. You live. Barely. But you live.
You haunt me no more. What happened has happened. I'll just leave my mind and never come back.
So what? You're just going to leave me in the past? Forgotten?
Never.
Thrown to the wolves, to the trash?
I want you to stop haunting me.
Haunting is hardly the word, Adam.
Taunting. Just being always in the back of my mind saying I'm making the wrong decision.
She motions her hand, and it's as if above you, on the ceiling, is one of your lightsabers. It is out of reach, and you find yourself unable to call upon the Force.
Connect them. Spin.
This blade replaced from mine. All you care about is blade on blade. That's all you've ever cared about. Do you think a lightsaber is what makes you a Jedi, Padawan?
No, I don't. I've never once killed a human. The only blade this thing's killed is droids, and a saber-toothed cat, and not even a long one. Maybe yes, I've
She
stabbed.
pulls out a small... Thank you! She pulls out a small metallic tube from her ribs, from her waist. It's your old lightsaber. She ignites it, and it's blue.
What, are you gonna kill me?
She looks down at it. Took a long time for us to build this, and you threw it away like trash.
Never.
Then keep it. She brings it back in and tosses it to you. You catch it. Suddenly you hear a as she ignites her own blade. And she runs up to attack you. And as soon as you turn your blade on, and as soon as you go to block it, she vanishes, and you find yourself hanging upside down. You're hanging upside down in a cave, in a frozen cave. You look up, your nose is all bloody and frozen with blood. All of the blood has rushed to the end of your head, and your feet are frozen to the cave. What do you do?
Do I still have this lightsaber?
You do.
Is it still blue?
Yeah.
I wanna like bend up and I wanna try to cut melt the ice.
Alright, you fall and land on your head. You take 1 damage.
Can I like try to land on my back?
Nope.
I did 1 damage.
Yep. As you sit up, you quickly realize that you see a figure sitting right next to you. And you, oh! As you kind of look, you see that there's 2 figures, actually. One is sitting upright in a crouched position. And a collapsed tent lies half buried in the snow nearby. Jutting out of the nearby snow from one of the people is a pair of blue boots. And you look closer and you can see that it's the dead body of Perry Lou, covered in snow. All you can see are her boots. Next to this grim display is a figure in cold weather clothing, sits in the snow. Her knees are pulled up tight to her chest as if she's freezing. Her horns protrude from underneath the figure's fur-lined hood. And you look at her, and her eyes aren't moving or blinking, and she's not breathing.
I wanna like crawl. I wanna stand up and I just run over to her.
Okay, you run over to her,
I
and
wanna see if she has a pulse.
you touch her, and she's like a statue. She's completely frozen solid. She froze to death.
I'm assuming she was Asterix. Am I out?
At that very moment, you stand up. And you hear... What do you do?
I wanna look around.
The cave before you continues around a bend. You like look around and you're kind of in a den. Suddenly you're... As this white paw comes at you, roll to see if you dodge it.
Dex.
Yep. 11. I rolled a 3. You barely dodge out of the way. You have one reaction. What do you do?
Dude. Alright, right then and here. Blue lightsaber. I cut the hand off.
You just cut the entire arm off. It like grabs at its arm, and you see this massive figure in front of you. The big wampa that you killed earlier. This thing is a full 3 feet, 4 or 5 feet taller than this thing. This is the alpha wampa. It's like clutching at its arms, and it's like, and it tries swinging at you again. You barely dodge out of the way. This thing's throwing like such a fit that ice is starting to fall down.
I yell, Master, you saved my life. I wish I could save yours. And I just run. I'm gonna try to run up the wampa dude's face, and I just go.
And as this thing's like trying to grab at you, you ignite you pull your blade out, and you just see this look on Sar's face as you plunge your sword into the head of the Yeti, and you fall down of the wampa, and you fall down onto your knee. And you're like looking down at your blade when suddenly you realize that your blade isn't in the head of a wampa, but instead it is in the blade is ignited in the floor of the Jedi Council. You look up confused as you realize that you've spent the last month in a hologram. Sitting around you are all of the Jedi Masters, deep in thought, staring directly at you. Mace Windu stands up. Sir? Do you say anything?
Yeah, I pass. I stand up. I wanna bow. Mind tricks. They can work on Jedi. And I smile.
You showed strength and spirit
But I'm missing.
by harvesting control over what very thing that haunts your past, your previous master Lex. For that, all of us are proud.
I wanna look around and see if I see Jedi Master Silas.
You don't.
So we're missing a Jedi Master.
He's not a part of the council.
We're missing one Jedi that I miss.
He ignores you and sits down. A green alien master stands up. He has tendrils. You know this is Kit Fisto. And he stands up. You've mastered the mastery of one's will and body. Anybody who can live a month in Hoth, whether it be real or not, gets a thumbs up in my book. And he smiles at you.
Smile.
And he sits down. Then a human stands up. He has a beard. You know this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he stands up. Sir, you have mastered one's skill. You've proven back at the Wampa's lair that you have what it takes. For that, you have my vote. And he sits down. Finally, a little green alien waddles out of his chair with his cane, and he takes a few steps up before you, so he's about maybe 10 feet away from you. And he puts his cane down in front of you, and he puts his other hand on top of his cane, and he goes, "Much fear I sense in you."
I couldn't say just one job I have. I know they aren't real now, but I still feel like
mastered. You have all that takes a true Padawan to become a Jedi Knight. You have. All of us are very proud of you, Saw. Council, stand. And you see all of them stand up. There's about 15. They slowly stand up and they all take a few steps towards you. So they're all as close as you as Yoda is. And they all light their lightsabers. There's blue, green, there's a purple, there's all these lightsabers. Obi-Wan, yep, you kneel down. Master Kenobi takes a look forward and motions to Mace Windu. Well, he's your underling. And Mace Windu nods and with his purple blade walks up. Saw, it's my great pleasure to bring you a Jedi Knight. And he, with his purple blade, he puts his blade right above your left shoulder. You've mastered yourself. And now you will learn to master the Force as he brings his blade over to your right shoulder. Stand.
Stand.
Ignite your blade. Which one do you ignite? You realize in this moment that you have a green blade on your left hip and a blue blade on your right hip.
My blue.
You ignite your blue blade.
Grab my green and I ignite it.
You do both. And all of the Jedi Council point up, and you do as well.
For Lex and for Silas.
And that is the end of our session.
Dang.
Dang.